Welcome here to a very special edition of Wake Up Call. You know that NeapoliDANS is a signature segment that we do right here where sports meets life inside of the Great Lakes Honda City studio. So coming out of this fast break, I am very happy to bring this to you. It was an idea, a vision back in December of 2025, and we've turned it in to a multi-episode road to the NFL draft for Dan Villari. Of course, I'm Dan Tortora. That's Dan Villari, DT and DV. In this NeapoliDANS episode 7, the league is listening. Dan, how are we doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. I see the Senior Bowl. I like it.
Yeah, baby.
Can
Yep.
appreciate it. Got the Hula Bowl one last time, or a couple times ago. Now we got the Senior Bowl one. So,
Mm-hmm.
did you get to do anything with Panini? Because obviously Panini works with the NFL, has done a bunch of cards over the years, a lot of great stuff. I got a lot of Panini cards. So did they do anything with you in that respect?
Yeah, we took like a photo shoot and we ended up getting like 500 cards of our faces on it, and they're sick.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we
So
were like the players were like trading them in the locker room after the game. So it was pretty sick.
can you take one, put it aside, sign it, and make sure that I get that one?
Yeah, for sure. I got like 500 of them. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's got to be cool, right? Because when I saw Panini, because it used to be Reese's. So, I mean, I'm sorry that you didn't get a bag full of Reese's because Lord knows those are just from heaven. But
Yeah.
to get your own card's pretty sweet. So, what was the pose? What'd you do?
I'm like this, cross-armed, but we did a bunch of poses.
Oh, okay.
But that was the crossed arms was the one that they put on the card.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I could show you if you want.
Yeah, show it to me. I want to see it.
All right.
Yeah. Let's grab it. Let's take a walk through the life of Dan Villari here. And I want to see this card. So, for those of you watching and listening that might have just jumped in here, Dan is getting his card that he made at the Panini Senior Bowl with Panini doing NFL cards and working with the NFL for so many years now to bring us some of our favorite products, not just of football cards, but of cards in general. Dan got to make his own card with Panini. And so there it is. Look at that, Valari. Go a
Look at
little
that
bit
puppy.
closer. Look at that. That's cool. And that's signed.
Nice, ain't it?
Yeah, I see it. Look at that. Look at that young face. Your little baby face Valari here. I love it.
Stuff
So
is tough, man.
that's good. So when you made your card, you do the pose, they have you do a bunch of different things. They don't tell you which one they're gonna take. You cross your arms, they take. How did they present, like when did you do it? Did you do it like when you first got there and then they present it to you? Bring me through the making of your card.
Yeah, when we registered, we did like a million different things to register,
Yeah.
paperwork, and then the last thing was the photo shoot, and it was like four stations, and you did some poses with the football, then you went in like a frame, like a pretty much like a big card frame,
Yeah.
and the guy was just telling you like poses to do, and yeah, that was pretty much it. We did a few stations of photos, and then we were on our way. That was the first night.
So when did they give you your card?
They had it in our locker um, when we got to the stadium the day of the game. They had a pair of shoes in our locker, cards, pretty sick like magazine about the Senior Bowl,
Yeah.
and then yeah, and that was it.
It sounds like they treated you very well, Panini with the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, they did. Gave us a backpack, t-shirts, a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff.
So I mean, for you, you didn't know when you were going to get it. So you show up to the game, you go to the locker room, you go to your locker, and like you said, the sneaks and everything are in there. The cards are in there. Bring me into that moment for you of reaching for the card, not knowing what pose they did, then looking at it for the first time.
I was just like doing this. I was like looking at it like, yeah, like I just loved it. It was sick. And then I was shocked when like everybody was like, "Yo, let me get a card." I was like, "You want my card?" Like,
Yeah.
and everybody's like trading cards. So now I have like a bunch of players from all over the country in the little box over there.
When I was gonna,
Um,
so who do you remember? Like, who did you trade with? Do you remember some of the guys you traded with?
yeah, all the tight ends, Alabama tight end, Wyoming tight end, Ohio State, Stanford, USC wide receiver, few LSU guys, um, who else? Few linemen. Um, yeah, I have it over there, but
Yeah.
lot of cool guys, a lot of great players.
So it was almost like a jersey swap in a way, but you got to do a lot
Yeah.
more of them because they were cards. These guys that you did this, I mean, were these guys you got to build relationships with? Because I know you said when we talked in episode 6 of NeapoliDANS that you were picking the brain of these tight ends and just looking at what they do and how they do it. So are these cards essentially the guys that you got to spend a little bit more time with? I know you said you got all the tight ends, so was this more of like, hey, we respect each other, like, hey, I respect you, Villari, I respect you too, and just having that kind of back and forth while you were at the Senior Bowl and say like, hey, I want to commemorate this by grabbing a card. Did you feel like those card swaps were essentially like, I respect you, you respect me, jersey swap in a way?
Yeah, yeah, you could say that for sure. I was also, it was pretty cool because even guys I didn't talk to all week were like, "Let me get your card." Like, I think everyone was just trying to get as many as you could. But
Yeah,
definitely the guys I had a relationship with were the first guys that I got cards from. Especially there was like 7 or 8 dudes that I trained with in Florida
yeah.
um, that went to the Senior Bowl. So I got all their cards, and it's cool because I went down to train in Fort Myers for like 2 weeks before the Senior Bowl, and I didn't really talk to a lot of guys.
Yeah.
We was just like a what's up, and once I got to the Senior Bowl, I got to sit down with all these guys. You know, um, Arkansas linebacker, Texas Tech linebacker, Rodriguez, Jennings Dunker. I don't know if you've seen him. He's a stud, Iowa tackle. Um, but BYU linebacker, bunch of dudes, and
Yeah.
we got really close. So we got to have an opportunity to have conversations and get to know each other at dinner and breakfast. And it's kind of cool. It's like all week it was like fall camp. So like though like when you suffer with the guys, like that's when
Yeah.
you get close. Like that is when you get the closest with your boys is when you're suffering and going through those tough schedules.
Well, I was going to ask you that. Like, how did you break the ice? Was the ice just kind of broken, sweating through a practice, and kind of looking to your left, to your left and your right, and just being like, "Damn, that was crazy." And the guy going, "Yeah, I know," and just kind. I mean, did the game break the ice, or were there other things where you just kind of went up to people?
There's just a lot of there's a lot of meals.
Yeah.
So pretty much when you're sitting down for a meal, you chop it up with a guy, and all the guys at the Fort Myers gym end up sitting together, and then we'll be like, man, this schedule is crazy, like, and then we'll talk about like what's going on,
Yeah.
and basically like the meals.
Favorite meal that you had at the Senior Bowl? I gotta know.
Uh, they kept it pretty healthy.
Okay.
Um, so it was pretty standard stuff. It was good though, and but my favorite meal was when I went to a steakhouse with my mom and dad on
Okay.
Friday night. Yeah, that was the best. I forgot what it was called, but really nice place. Alabama's got like you walk into like the hotels there and it's like a museum. The architecture is like old fashioned.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool buildings and stuff over there.
So got to spend some time with mom and dad. Got to have the family out. And I mean, I think that's the biggest thing before we get into the fact that you spoke with all 32 teams and dig a little bit deeper into that. If I know anything about you and I just pay attention to what I've experienced, when I was in Boca Raton for the Boca Raton Bowl, That's when I met your family because they happened to come into O'Brien's Irish Pub where I was broadcasting for 2 days with Syracuse alumni. And then, you show pictures, you see stuff online of your family in the stands for the Hula Bowl. And then here we are with the Senior Bowl, and you're talking about your parents being there. I mean, the Villaris find a way. I don't know how many sick days your family has, but I think your dad's taking paternity leave, but there's no baby. Like, there's something to be said about the fact that Villari's always, I mean, that's got to mean a lot to you that
Yeah.
wherever, whenever, it just seems like y'all travel pretty well together.
Yeah, it seems like my dad saved all his sick days for football. It's literally what he does. I mean, it means the world to him. He has a blast.
Yeah.
And and yeah, he's just I think my dad put in about 40 years of construction, so
Yeah.
he's higher up now. He's a super.
Yeah.
So I think he has the respect and the leeway to take off for on Friday to come catch my game. So shout out to him. It's great to see him, man. And even sometimes I'm like, it might be a drag, like it might have been a drag to get to Mobile, Alabama,
Yeah.
connecting flight, got to take off on Friday.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, you guys could watch it on TV, like, have a little party, watch it on TV and just save the trouble. But my dad was like, nah, we gotta come. Like, I gotta go, I gotta be there. And then he dragged my mom with him. And so, yeah, he loves it.
I mean, I think about it like this, how many parents can ever say that their kid was in the Hula Bowl? Their kid was in the Senior Bowl. Their kid's in the NFL draft. Their kid's
Right,
got a really good shot of being drafted. I
right.
mean, there, I think your parents understand we're doing this one time
Mm,
and we're going to enjoy this moment. And that leads perfectly into what this episode 7 is all about here on NeapoliDANS, exclusively on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. The league is listening. You went to the Hula Bowl. You spoke with 18 franchises in the NFL. There's 32. Those of you that do math, that means he spoke with more than half of the NFL. When you go to the Senior Bowl, you spoke with those 18 that you had already spoken with, plus the 14 that you had yet to speak with. So you have now talked to every single franchise, coast to coast, north to south, in America. Has that hit you yet?
Uh, yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Pretty much everyone at the Senior Bowl got an opportunity to talk to all 32. It was like it was like a maze you walk through. You literally go from one table to the next,
Yeah.
20-minute increments for 3 hours straight. So just talking to everybody and them them just telling me that they know about me and they watched the film and they like me. It was cool.
And I mean, you say, like, hey, everybody at the Senior Bowl has an opportunity to speak with all 32, but there's not a lot of people that get invited to the Senior Bowl when it comes to the amount of names that are
Mhm.
eligible for the NFL draft. Again, as we go through this and I go up and down, if I go to sheerly just tight ends that were invited to this thing, I'm looking at a very short list of those that play that position. So I'm looking at a few names that are on here. Sam Roush, who I interviewed from Stanford, you mentioned him. NC State, Justin Jolly, who I also spoke with. Tanner Koziel of Houston, Joshua Cuevas of Alabama, as well as John Michael Gillenborg of Wyoming, who you mentioned. Will Kakmarek is of Ohio State, who you also mentioned here. And I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. DJ Rogers from TCU and Nate Borkircher of Texas A&M, as well as Matthew Hibner of SMU and yourself. So as I look at this list, that when we were talking originally about this, there was 8 tight ends that were on the roster for the Senior Bowl, and all in all, there ended up being 10 here. I think that I counted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there was only 10 tight ends in the entire nation. There's 136 FBS schools. That's not including FCS, D2, D3, none of that. There's 136 schools. 10 of them were represented at the tight end position. You were one of those 10 in the entire country of 136 FBS plus everybody else. That's got to be something to you, Dan, when you did not start your career as a tight end.
Yeah, it's something, man, for sure. Hasn't sunk in, I'm just not that guy that, you know, I should see the flowers and see the light more often,
Yeah.
but I'm so like I'm so here all the time that like yeah, I didn't even think like, man, I'm one of what was it, 10 tight ends,
Yeah.
in the whole country here. I'm just like focused on being the best right now out of these 10. Um, but yeah, it's pretty cool that you to hear you say that for sure.
And you're the only person on the entire squad at the Panini Senior Bowl to represent the Syracuse Orange. The
Yeah.
only spotlight on that school and that football program is Dan Villari, the guy that came in, that was asked to change positions, that was trying to figure out how to get on the field, that did a little bit of everything, that was a chameleon, is the only person that got asked to be there. I mean, when you look at how you started at Syracuse to being at the Senior Bowl as the only representative of the entire Syracuse team, what does that mean from where you started of I don't know if I'm going to get on the field based on what they're telling me to now I'm the only representative they have in the Senior Bowl?
First off, I think if we won a few more games, I would have had some of our teammates there for sure. A lot of great players that were overlooked. But it's insane, man. I mean, from where I started at Cuse in 2022, the injuries, the being told I'll never play tight end in the ACC, like it's insane. And it's funny because my first roommate in college at Michigan was Matt Hibner, the SMU tight end.
Yeah.
So that first summer there, he was my roommate. I was a quarterback throwing routes to him, and 5 years later, uh, I'm at the Senior Bowl with him. It's like just insane how life goes.
How did you experience that moment with Matt to start your career at Michigan? Like you said, throwing passes to him. You're a quarterback, he's a tight end. Then he ends up at SMU. You end up at Syracuse. You guys go up against each other. And I mean, like this, well, I mean, with SMU now in the ACC, the world is so tiny in when it
Mhm.
comes to sports. How did you experience the Senior Bowl together? And did you take the time to sit down and go, bro, we were teammates. Now we're here. And we both went to different places. And I was the guy throwing to you. Now I'm the guy trying to catch passes just like you are.
Yeah, I said to him like, man, we really went from being locked up in a hotel room during COVID, not being able to leave to being miserable, depressed to this 5 years later. And he was just like, it's insane. But he was on the other team, so
Yeah.
I didn't get a lot of I really didn't get a lot of opportunities to talk to him. But when he first got there, we talked, and yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
So in this crazy world, in this crazy road to get here, we talk about our faith in God. And something that took me 40 years to realize, but his plan is better than ours.
Damn
How
right.
has God shown you his plan works?
Because whatever I've ever been worried about has happened, and it just continues to happen
Yeah.
as long as I continue to have faith and I continue to work and I continue to be a good person and I continue to be someone to look up to in this world. And it's just that simple, man. Um, so many people. I'll never forget. Remember Eric Coley?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that first year in 2023, when I was playing quarterback and I was balling out, we used to meet every like Monday night and like just go through the Bible, and just because I said I wanted to grow my faith, I didn't want to be a pretender. I wanted to actually learn the word. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll teach you, man." So every Monday night we talked, and he just said to me once, he was like, "I hope you realize what God has done for you. Like, isn't it insane what he's done for you? This year alone." And I'm like, and I just never forget. It was just, just a simple sentence he said, but every year I got to keep reminding myself, like, look what he's done for you. Look what he's done for you. Because I'm not every day. I said I'm like not. It's not that I'm not grateful, but I should be more grateful. I should sit back and appreciate more. But I've always been that guy who's 100 miles an hour all the time.
Yeah.
But that's what's got me here. So I got to continue that.
Yeah, and I think, and I'm right there with you, that you have to find a way to marry the two of I'm always on to the next thing, not because I'm greedy, but because I'm a go getter and I want to achieve things in my life and I don't want to waste time, but then to also
Mhm.
take a step back and say, thank you. Like,
Yeah.
thank you for this. And I love that. I love that you mentioned Eric Coley and that whole story of, are you seeing? So I'm going to echo Eric Coley right now. And I'm going to say to you, Dan, are you seeing what God has done for you? Has it sunk in that the entire NFL knows your name, has heard your voice, and has had some type of personal interaction with you, one on one interaction with you? Are you seeing ahead of this draft what God has done in your life?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just, ever since I've been in Florida, I've just been getting closer to him. I've been reading more books about the Bible. I've been taking notes. I've just been um, trying to grow closer to him, and I just feel better. I just feel better all the time. I'm content with life, and I know on draft I'm composed, but on draft day I know it's all gonna come out. And I think about that every single day. I think about that phone call and what it's gonna mean to me and my family and how it's gonna feel.
Well, and you talk about that phone call. The league has been listening. They've talked to you, they've gotten to know you. What has been some of these interactions, if you go back to the things that stuck out, the questions that were asked, the conversations that were had, when the league has listened to you, what have they asked you for? What were they looking to hear from you?
Everyone just first they want to know my background, um, just my story, and that kind of leads the whole conversation, just telling my story. And right away they know, like, all right, this kid's tough. Like, this kid's been through some stuff and he's never stopped. Um, then they ask you little questions like, what ticks you off? What do you do to prepare for a game? It's 3rd and 6. What's your favorite pass play? Draw it up for me. Stuff like that. I had Miami ask me, what are you doing on a Friday night in Miami? Um, so just stuff like that.
So, the character questions. What are you doing on
Yeah.
Friday night? That type of stuff. How did you answer the questions of essentially what these teams are asking you is, can we trust you? Are you responsible? Do we have to worry about you? Do we have to go find you? So when you got those questions, how did you respond to the character questions?
I was just honest. Um, it's funny because that Miami conversation specifically, they were like, they're like, what are you doing on Friday night in Miami? I'm like, I'm taking the hottest chick in the city out. Like, that was the first thing that came to my mind because, like, it's important to just be honest all the time. And this was after. I told them my whole routine, what I do on a daily basis, how I take care of my body, my mindset. So they know I'm locked in.
Yeah.
But, you're not a robot. You gotta, show that you're a human as well. But it was funny. They all laughed. They were all cracking up laughing, and one guy was like taking notes, like very serious. And I was like, I hope he didn't write something bad down.
Yeah.
But they were cool guys, man. I really liked the Dolphins guys.
That's always
Uh,
the thing in therapy. When they look at you, they don't say anything, and they're like, or they say interesting, and they start writing, and you're like, what are you putting in that notepad right now?
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I'm laughing with everybody, and I'm looking at the guy in the middle, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
man.
so besides the character questions, we've talked a little bit, but not a lot about the drawing up plays. What have you done in those moments? I mean, I know that the world has seen the John Gruden moments where like he would ask a quarterback like, "Come up here to the board and show me that you have intelligence, show me that you're a student of the game." But when they're asking you at the tight end position like, "Draw us up a play, do this." How confident are you? Do you have like a set of plays? Can you just kind of go to them in a photographic memory and say, okay, yep, I remember this. I remember this from the book. Like, how quickly can you drum up a play? And do you have a bunch of them in your arsenal where if they ask you 3rd and 6, but then they ask you, okay, it's 2nd and 10 or something like that? I mean, do you have different stuff ready to go?
Yeah. I was prepared. I have 4 or 5 play calls that I love, run game and pass game, and you kind of got to just because you forget a lot after the season, so you got to go back into your playbook and kind of just. I literally read through my notes from every single game leading up to the Senior Bowl. And I just cruise through them, read them. I draw my favorite plays. I talk through them to myself, and then you just show up and you're kind of ready for whatever they're gonna throw at you. And me being a quarterback, like it's easy. Like I feel like my IQ is really good. Football IQ is really good. So that was the fun part for me. I was ready to go right away. No stuttering, nothing. Um, and then the Saints tight end coach actually sat me down and he like pulled up some film and he was like, "What technique is this end in? What technique is this guy in? What defense are they showing?" So that was pretty cool. The Saints did that for me, and kind of wanted to see if I had a clue. Like very simple questions, like
Yeah.
just wanted to see if I had a clue about football, and I knew I was more advanced than that. But
Who threw you the craziest curveball?
uh, curveball. Oh, man. Nobody threw me a curveball. I think later on in this process they'll throw me some curveballs,
Yeah.
but at the Hula Bowl, the Hula Bowl, I I wasn't as prepared as I was for the Senior Bowl,
Okay.
um, with the playbook stuff because we were learning the Hula Bowl playbook, and I honestly didn't know that they were gonna ask any questions about our playbook. So the Browns asked me a question about our playbook, and I kind of I knew the play, I just forgot the name, and I was so pissed. I was like, I can't believe I don't remember the name of this play right now. And then so after that moment, I was like, all right, I better know every single call,
Yeah.
you know, so I don't look stupid like that. But it wasn't that bad. Um, one Chief scout told me, I guess this is a curveball, but he just told me like, I came to Syracuse in August and didn't even know who you were, didn't think anything of you. Didn't think you were much. Then I came back in like September, October, and I was like, this kid's a really good football player. Who is this kid? And I was like, shit, that's usually what happens. So thanks for being honest with me. And he was like, yeah, yeah, I'm just being honest with you. And I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's better than going the other way, right? So
Yeah.
before I let you go, besides character questions and these questions about, drawing up plays or understanding defenses, what other questions came from NFL teams that really stuck out to you and kind of in what they were looking for or what they were trying to assess when it came to you? What are some other things that you just felt like, oh, okay, like this is important to this team, or maybe you heard it with a lot of different teams?
A lot of them ask me, what do you need to improve in your game?
Yeah.
And then we talked about that, and I said like blocking bigger ends, having perfect technique with that. And one team actually said like, you don't think it's like a strength issue for you? And I was like, nah, I don't think. I think I'm very strong on the football field. Like in the weight room, not the strongest guy, won't wow you, but on the field, it's like it's a little different. I've just always been that way. So I just like expressed to them that I know how to get really good at blocking, and I just need to rep it a lot, and that's it, just reps. So I know if my technique is perfect, I'm athletic and I'm violent enough to get the job done. I have the will to get the job done. A lot of it's will. A
Yeah.
lot of guys don't want to throw their face into a 300-pound, beast who gets paid hundreds of millions to run through your face and rush the passer.
Yeah.
So um, I think I express my willingness to them a lot, and they like that.
Two quick hitters, Giants and Jets. Didn't talk to him at the Hula Bowl, talked to them at the Senior Bowl. I know you said to me that you said to the Jets guy, like, it's about dang time. But what do you remember from the Jets and Giants conversations at the Senior Bowl?
I know the so the interview process was like it's like very fast.
Yeah.
So like you start sweating a little bit, and I remember throwing like five zins in like during the whole thing, like my heart's beating because of the nicotine. But I sat down with the Jets, and the guy was like, "You nervous?" And I was like, "No," because I just killed five interviews in a row, like crushed them. So I was like, "No, I'm not nervous." But that's how he started that one off. Then it went great. He said they said they wanted me to come to their local day. Um, and then the Giants, I believe I was talking to the GM, Joe Schoen, and yeah, he was asking me a lot of questions,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize it was him until after. I was like, this guy looked very familiar. Meanwhile, my friends back home have been freaking out, like they're all Giant fans. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I told them that I didn't even realize it was him,
Yeah.
and they were like, "That's so cool, man."
My last question, because it's my team, and you didn't interact with them at the Hula Bowl, but you did at the Senior Bowl. What do you remember of your time with the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Oh, we talked about LeQuint a
Okay.
lot. Um, and I just told them my story, and they loved it. They're great guys. They just love the toughness that I was talking about, and um, we were talking about LeQuint. We were talking about, I was telling him I always tried to, even though he was younger than me, I tried to emulate his game because everyone should play the game of football like him. Like he's relentless. He he doesn't back down from anything. He's not the biggest dude either, but his willingness is why he's balling out right now in the league. Like,
Yeah.
um, so like I talked about his energy and his toughness is what a team needs and is what we needed back in, especially back in 23 when me and LeQuint were playing quarterback. Wildcat, I said like me and him were the sparks. And I feel like I'm a spark just like him because the energy I bring to practice and the competitiveness and the grittiness that me and him bring.
Well, in Jacksonville finding value in him, go back and look at that tape, and you'll see value in the man that was right there next to him, in Dan Villari. Dan, you get the final word here. The league is listening. So if a GM or a scout or whoever is right here paying attention to this and just heard you discuss your interactions with all 32 NFL teams, just what your takeaways were, you get the final word. What do you want to say to the league right now from everything that you've experienced as we get closer to the draft?
Um, Pick me, man. You won't regret it. I'm gonna wow the world, man. I truly believe that. And I truly believe that teams are gonna regret passing on me. And one question one scout asked me was, he said, why should we take a chance on you? And I said, it's not a chance. Like, I've been playing this position for 3 years. I know how to work. This is all I ever wanted in life. Like, my work ethic is impeccable. It's second to none. And I'm just gonna continue to get better. And there's nothing that's gonna stop that. Um, and I'm a great teammate. So I said it's not a chance. And I can play ball, so that was if you think it's a chance, I'm here to tell you it's not. It's not a chance. It's a guarantee.
Dan Villari, no better way to end this episode of NeapoliDANS. As always, my friend and my brother, you know that I love you, and I know that God is guiding you and putting his light on you everywhere you go. So I'm very, very proud of you, and this journey has only just begun.
Definitely. Amen, brother.